Hey there! If you're like me and you learned how to crochet before you ever picked up knitting needles, here's a cast on that works really well. It's great for somebody who already understands how crocheting works because half of this you'll already have in your hands and ready. This particular cast on starts with a slip knot, a very short tail, and a slip knot that you're going to put around your crochet hook. So I've made a slip knot. I'm putting it onto my crochet hook. And the tail is going to sit with me and my hook, so I kind of just like it on this side of the yarn. So that's the start of it. Now we get to fumble around a little because we're going to add a knitting needle to this whole mess. So grab your knitting needle, hold it in the same hand as your crochet hook. And this first one is tricky, but after the first one it's really kind of easy. If you've never crocheted before, let me show you how I hold the yarn. I use my pinky for tension. So I've just looped it around once. I rest the yarn over the top of my hand, and then I use my thumb and my index finger to hold the work. And I use my middle finger here to kind of create some tension and give me an area to work in when I'm using the crochet hook. Because in crochet, you need a little working area here. So what I'm going to do for the very first stitch is I'm going to grab both the knitting needle and this knot that I have on my hook and try and hold that all together while I use my crochet hook to come up, grab that yarn, and you can see the direction of the hook is facing towards the yarn. Once I grab it, I twist it, turn my needle, and then I bring a loop through the loop that's existing on the crochet hook. So now I have my slip knot actually right here in the middle, and I have a loop on my needle, a loop on my crochet hook, and I have my working yarn. My tail is still just hanging under here on the bottom. I'm going to take the yarn that I have in my hands here, bring it up and over the knitting needle and bring it back behind the knitting needle. And now everything is a little bit easier because now I've kind of got this all in place, and I just hold on to my knitting needle, and that tends to hold everything together. And I just do the same thing. I come up, grab my yarn, turn my hook so that it will pull the yarn with the right tension in the direction that will bring it through this loop. Bring that through, and I take that yarn and bring it back behind the knitting needle. Whenever your tension gets kind of out of whack, just bring it back. And I'm just going to keep repeating the hooking over my knitting needle for as many stitches as I need, minus one. So I have right now 3 stitches on this needle, and let's say I want to put 10 stitches on for my project. Well, I'm just going to keep on going here, and I keep following that same process until I have 9 stitches on my needle, because the stitch that's on my crochet hook is going to get transferred at the very end onto the knitting needle. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is my 9th stitch, and I wanted to have 10 on my needle. So I'm going to take that last loop, just draw it out a little bit, and you just take it and place the needle right inside of it, and then just tighten this down. And you are all ready to begin knitting into this crocheted cast on.